Oh, my God. My God. That's from Braveheart, guys. Welcome into this Monday's Entertainment News. I'm Jonathan C. Walsh. I'm your host for this evening. And joining me to the left here is Stephen John McLaughlin. Jay McLaughlin. I didn't say Christopher. I have says it now. He's the co-host for the stream show news breakdown, discussion, whatever you want to call it, for this evening.
Yes. Hello.
I went on that fucking long, Stephen. I almost done a reverse Billy Connolly and forgot what I was saying, and I just tacked it on at the end and saved it by an absolute, as we like to say in Scotland, boher. But Stephen, we're going to discuss the DCU tonight. We're going to discuss James Gunn and Peter Safran's vision for not just Man of Tomorrow, which he announced, and whether or not that's a sequel or not, but just the actual DCU in its full entirety for Chapter 1. We've kind of touched upon this when it was initially, to quote Partridge, we're doing a Partridge thing tonight, announced back in the day, but we're going to go over it again, Stephen, now with the added context of knowing how, for me anyway, how good Superman was. Superman was fucking great. So we've got that additional context now. We know it started off well, and we can now look forward to the future. But Stephen, Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bring it up. It's not because I pressed the wrong button. You silly fucking twat. Polygon. Man of Tomorrow isn't Superman 2, James Gunn says. So what is it? You fucking tell me, Michael McWetter. You from Fort William, son. That's a caber-tossing Chukter Highlander name if ever I seen one. I see you, Michael, son. James dropped a surprise announcement, Stephen. It was that much of a surprise, I didn't even know what was happening. I think you mentioned something about Superman 2 getting announced, and now he's out discussing it.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it. I think we were doing reactions the other day, and I said that the news about Superman sequel is coming out, but there's been obviously more developments since it dropped, and this is it. In terms of what it actually is and what it actually means, in terms of the Man of Tomorrow. And first and foremost, David Corenswet and Nicholas Hoult are appearing in this, but it's not technically Superman 2. It's a film that's coming out in 2027, July, I think.
Yeah.
And both of them are going to appear in it. It's quite an interesting concept. I know we'll get into that in a moment, John, but
Steve, doesn't give me Bill Nye of Wiedersehen Pet vibes, where he announces that Ant and Dec are going to appear at an event for a bridge being opened. I've not heard they're not. That's what this is giving me vibes of here. They're going to be there. But in what capacity?
They're going to be there. If we'll get into obviously what the concept of this story is anyway, but they are definitely going to be there. One of the things I do like from this announcement is that we're not waiting 13 fucking years to see Superman again, like we were with the Snyderverse. A sequel. So it's great. It's great. I'm glad they're doing Supergirl off the back of Superman as well, because it's just keeping it tonally as well. Obviously, we got I'm blanking on her name, the Australian actress, Millie Alcock, who's playing Supergirl. That appearance at the very end of the film, I think that's the way these films are going to go. And it's almost like the Samuel Jackson appearance at the end of all MCU films, just to sort of tie them in. But Steve, I'm looking forward to this. I know we'll get into obviously the synopsis of Man of Tomorrow as well, and everything that's coming after. I know we've done it before, but this is an update, John, as you said.
Oh, but Stephen, what you said there about Millie Alcock coming in at the end, Supergirl, that's the kind of clever stuff that Marvel were doing with the MCU 20 years ago. Well, nearly 20 years ago. Which is fucking terrifying to think. 17, 18 years ago. They were telling great standalone movies or stories with one character, not overcomplicating it, letting the audience get to know this variation of the character, and then they drop it in at the end in a little throwaway moment, another character coming in of maybe equal significance or lesser significance, but just connecting the dots in a clever way. It wasn't convoluted, it wasn't rushing things, it was just nice little simplistic devices they were using, MacGuffins, at the end of movies to connect the dots. And it's good to see that James has learnt from the master and Kevin Feige here. He's almost like the Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader to Chief Palpatine, where he's learnt from the master how to start off. He's been there in the infancy, relative infancy. What wasn't it? It was a good bit in 2014, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that was already 6 years in. But he obviously was around and he's got connections in the industry.
Yeah.
So he's learnt intelligently how to kickstart these things off. It was so important, Stephen, Superman. It was hugely important. We said that before it came out. We were all buzzing for it. Return of Superman as a character. He's such a hopeful superhero character, and it's what the world needs. And just the story he was telling about aliens, illegal aliens, and how you can maybe skew that to immigration, and how nefarious voices can twist that for their own sort of dastardly deeds, if you'd like. And how just the humanity shone through in this guy who's technically an alien. It was a really important thing for these times, that story that was being told. And it was just so good to have him back, but it was vitally important that he hit the ground running. We've seen other universes try and copy the blueprint of Marvel. We've seen it with Zack Snyder. I thought Man of Steel was pretty fucking good. I have to say, I still think it's pretty good. But it was rushed. It was incoherent. There was interference. We've seen it with Universal, with their monster universe. Get off to an absolute car crash of a start with Sophia Boutella and Tom Cruise, that Mummy movie, and it was just fucking dead on arrival. So he had to get out the box with a great movie. I think he'd done it. But more importantly, financially, it made very good money. So
yeah, John, you see, DC, this is the thing about DC and the position they put themselves in for a decade of bad decisions. And you're right, they had to hit the ground running. If the DCEU had not existed, perhaps they might have been a little bit more daring and not started the DCU with the most prominent superhero in their catalogue in Superman. But they had to hit the ground running, you're right. And you couldn't take that risk with another character. I don't want to say a lesser character, but not as a more mainstream. You'd have to go with Superman or Batman to kick this thing off, or Wonder Woman if you like. But I'm glad they went with Superman. I'm glad they went the way they did with it tonally as well, because for someone who's watched a lot of DC animated stuff, this was right down my street in terms of tone. I'm not knocking the Snyderverse in any fashion, John, because I liked what Zack Snyder was trying to accomplish with those collection of superheroes. But the problem with Superman is he's not a dark character, so he doesn't fit into that universe as such. I loved Man of Steel. I thought it was a great film. But we're getting back to basics. We're getting back to the traditional way of telling stories through the comics. And this Man of Tomorrow intrigues me a bit because it does say, and I think it's actually James Gunn who does say that David Cornsvet has a major role in this. So although it's not Superman 2 as billed as Superman 2, he's going to have a major role in this story. He's going to, I think, in terms of Lex Luthor's going to appear as well. And I read somewhere, I don't know if it was this article, but there's a possibility they could be teaming up. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that just yet.
Well, I mean, what I enjoyed about Superman, obviously, this year's version, was the way that he really did build the world, and that it wasn't just Superman, and there was other people out there, other heroes, if you'd like, putting in the sort of hours, keeping things at bay, and established this sort of world where the people are completely comfortable with alien fucking creatures and other weird oddities popping up and getting sorted out right in front of their eyes. There's a great scene where obviously, I don't know if it's Clark Kent or actual Superman at that point, is having his discussion, and in the background, I think it's just after Krypto get stolen away by Lex, who wasn't admitting that he stole it away, but he was to him, but it wasn't, if you know what I mean. And you had in the background that great scene of them all attacking this kind of interdimensional being or whatever it was. So that was an element I enjoyed, and it also sets up that we have got the ability for cooperation, maybe. I don't know how that's going to work with Lex and Superman. There's going to have to be some amount of time jumping happening because they were going at it.
Yeah.
And Lex was not looking like the forgiving type at the end of that movie, so I'm really intrigued to see how the fuck they're going to make that work.
Am I right in saying, John, that we have a few films before that? So there's a lot that could happen in between, as you said. There could be a time jump. Obviously, it's Supergirl, and then after that, Clayface. Now, I don't know, in terms of obviously that third movie, Clayface, I know it's going to be deemed a horror, which is interesting. And whether or not that's going to play part of it's going to be part of the world building. We know that, but is there going to be any cameos, or I don't know.
Steve, do you want to see Superman
2
appear in this?
2 films in between, so that the relationship could change at that point, I suppose.
Do you want to see Superman appearing in Supergirl? Do you think that would be too distracting for Supergirl?
No, I don't want him. I don't want him in there, John. I think we just got a whole film of him, so near enough, a whole film of him. No, give Supergirl, a platform to really hit the ground running. It's the first time, John, in a long time. I think the 1980s, wasn't it? They released a Supergirl film, and it was a very budget version of what could have potentially been a really big film. But no, this is the time for Supergirl for this film, and I'm not really want to see any cameos from David Corenswet in there. No. We probably will, but I don't want to see that.
I think if he comes in, it'll be much the same as what her appearance was in Superman.
Yeah.
Because he's too big a character, he's too big a presence, he's too powerful as well, Stephen. I mean, I'm not saying that Supergirl's not powerful, but if you bring Superman into the story, you immediately have to crank up the stakes. So you're best keeping him away, much like Star Wars, as we discussed in recent weeks. And when you start introducing characters like Luke Skywalker into a story, immediately you're ratcheting up the sort of stakes and the villainry, for lack of a better word, that is required in that story. So sometimes it's better just dumbing it down, keeping it simple, and keeping a guy like Superman, or an alien like Superman. I call him a guy because he's a guy, out of the film. But Stephen, I mean, just breaking down this, I mean, we'll go back to this briefly, then we'll break down the actual, chapter 1 slate of releases. He's been out and he's commented on it. And he says, Man of Tomorrow is not a direct sequel, nor is it explicitly quote-unquote Superman 2. His exact words were, if they can give me the fucking quote, in July, I'm not sure how you define direct sequel. What I like about James is he's very direct in the way he addresses things. He'll not hold back. He's very modern in his approach. Someone will speculate something in one of these sort of gutter tabloid newspapers or whatever, or news outlets, and he immediately just grabs the bull by the horns on social media and says, that's fucking bollocks. He doesn't say that, but I'm saying it. I'm paraphrasing, or he'll confirm it and give a little snippet away. He's always very open and transparent in the way that he handles things. I pretty much think of Peacemaker Season 2 as a direct sequel to Superman, and that's interesting, Stephen, because by all accounts it is going to bleed in to Man of Tomorrow. And also we did have John Cena in there, taking little pot shots in Superman. So I'm liking the way he's connecting the world already. We've got that sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? A legacy. A character from the Snyderverse bleeding over. It is a Snyderverse, isn't it? Is it a Snyderverse? It has to be, doesn't it?
I'm
thinking of the Suicide Squad, because Harley Quinn was in that, wasn't she?
Yeah, but
there's a kind of
it's a weird one, John, because James Gunn did say that it's no connection to the first film, although some of the actors came back. It's a weird one.
Yeah, I don't know how he's working that one out. They were dabbling with multi-dimensional stuff at that point, though, so he can explain it away. It's fine. But it's he's connecting it really well, and anything that's got John Cena potentially in it, I'm well up for that. Having said that, I've never seen Peacemaker, so that's something I have to address. Need to get back and watch it. I really enjoyed the character in the Suicide Squad, or Suicide Squad, whatever one it was. His was this Suicide Squad, I'm sure. So I need to go and watch that, because obviously he's going to be pivotal in playing maybe not fucking pivotal, that's maybe overcutting it, but he's going to be playing a role in this universe moving forward. And I do enjoy John on multiple levels in the wrestling as well recently. He's been very good.
You kind of raise a good point, though, in terms of the bleed over. And, you know, at some point, will James Gunn not want to dabble with Harley Quinn? And will he get Margot Robbie back for that?
I don't think so. She's getting older as well, Stephen. I mean, it's reality. She's, I think, a couple of years older than me now. Or is she? I always get her.
Sure.
I think she may be a year younger than me. But she's getting older. She's in her mid-30s now. So, by the time you get to a Harley Quinn movie, it could be half a decade away. She's not more than 40 at that point, or indeed 40. And then you're talking about committing to multiple movies. Does someone in their 40s want to commit to that kind of character? I don't know.
I mean, in terms of continuity, I don't think it keeps James Gunn up at night or anything like that. It was just a wonder, you know, because I never really considered the Suicide Squad as part of this universe, if you know what I mean. It was a kind of crossover, you know. It was the you know, in between Zack Snyder and James Gunn's sort of reign, you know, and just one of those things, you know, like what was the film that came out?
Almost like Star Trek with J.J. Abrams.
What was the superhero, John, with I'm blanking on the name. He's as strong as Superman. He's a kid that turns into a Shazam, yeah. Totally blanked the name. Because he wanted to, Aquaman 2 as well, you know, he wanted to just clear the slate of all these films that were all sort of...
that was one I was going to bring up. That'll be another intriguing one, Stephen. If he ever decides to bring Aquaman in at some point, does he go down the original comic book route? Yeah. Where it's the sort of goofy, blonde-haired, fucking Atlantean? Or does he go back down the sort of Samoan... Is it even Samoan? Hawaiian kind of... That kind of route? The Jason Momoa route? I don't know. Because that made the character cool. A character that for so long was seen as a fucking joke. Let's not mince my words here. He was an absolute goon of a character.
The words of Rajesh Kuthrapoli, Aquaman sucks, man.
Absolutely, man, he did. And they made it cool again, and that was thanks to Jason Momoa. Stephen, I mean, we'll get into this. We'll get into this in the next, but there's so much, I mean, there's so many things I'd like to see him explore moving forward, and it's just great to see we've had the Marvel era, sadly, it's coming to an end, it really is. It pains me to say it. I'm not going to write it off completely. We've still got Tom Holland floating around as Spider-Man, so it's not complete. I mean, that's technically Sony, though. That's a whole other sort of pocket universe in between. Does it really Marvel? Is it not? Fuck knows. But now we're getting a potentially golden era of DC, and it's long overdue. Because I've always liked both. I'm not one of these sort of tribalistic fans who I hate DC because I love Marvel. No, I just like both of them.
It's absolutely weird. John, the whole world's like that at the minute. Social media's done that to it's just done something to people, you know, that they've got to be tribalize everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous.
Just doom scrolling themselves into a black hole of fucking hatred and bitterness. That's what it is. And it infects you like a disease. That's why I have to get off it. But no, Stephen, get back into the quotes. I'm sure he had more to say. Pretty sure he did. Maybe he didn't, in actual fact. But no, I mean, it's intriguing, Stephen. I really enjoyed Holt as Lex Luthor. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Perfectly nailed the character, the looks, just the little nuanced bits of acting, like grimaces and facial expressions, the way he treated people. They got it absolutely bang on. He's levels and levels. And I don't like shitting on other actors because I'm not an actor, so I can't talk about acting ability. But Jesse Eisenberg was never, ever, ever Lex Luthor in your fucking life. That's one of the worst casting decisions in the history of Hollywood. They got it right with Nicholas Hoult. And you talk about a guy who's got longevity in that role, man. That guy is, I think, the exact same age as me. He could play that character for a decade, easily.
Up to it.
And exactly, and there's so much potential. I mean, you think of, how old would your man have been that passed away recently? I'm blanking on his name.
Gene Hackman would have probably been in his 40s, probably my age when he took the role.
Oh, he's not that much older then. Yeah.
Well, I mean, 50, John. Yeah. It's old enough.
That's not that older. For that kind of character, that's a cerebral
Gene
character.
Hackman was always a funny one to me because he always looked older than he was. You know, if you go back to the French Connection, you know, he probably your age or a bit younger, but he looked maybe 10 years older.
Stephen, this is not the place for it because it's meant to be an entertainment news thing, and this is going down a podcast route where you start getting off-piste into rocky terrain and you're risking potentially having a brain injury akin to Michael Schumacher back in the day. But that just reminded me, I was watching a video and I think I've got a theory on why people back in the 70s and whatnot looked much older. And this is fucking tin foil hat material. But there's a lot of speculation that something's maybe happened in the last 15, 20 years. Maybe it's to do with this large fucking hadron collider thing. Time's maybe speeding up. People are aging the same, but they're not in terms of looks, they're not aging the same. Or maybe it's just carbolic soap or whatever it was back in the day. But people back in the day looked really fucking old for their years. It's almost like time was moving just a little bit slower and they were literally aging.
I don't want to get too deep into it, John, but diet
Sean
had a
Connery
lot
was my
to do
age,
with
Stephen,
it.
when he started James Bond. Have you seen Sean Connery in James Bond? The guy looked fucking 50, man.
I seen James Bond before. I seen Sean Connery before he was James Bond when he was a
crazy.
bodybuilder, and he was a unit, an absolute unit.
Fucking Stephen was the same fucking age as me. He looks about fucking 20
But
years
you've got to
older than me.
remember, diet had a lot to do with it. A lot more people smoked back then.
Yeah.
Pollution had a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, and obviously working conditions as well, for working class people was a lot different to it is now.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I'll put it down to that. I don't really like that sort of time thing at all. That's too frightening.
Well, I mean, the general consensus was that maybe it's sped up subtly. People are 36 or 40 or whatever, but they've not really spent as much time in the elements, if you like, and they're not aging as much as people back in the day because time was going a bit slower. I don't know, it's all a bit fucking mental and conspiratorial, but I digress. Let's get back to the topic on hand here. We're not talking about time. That's a whole different kit and caboodle.
Man of tomorrow, we are.
Exactly, man of tomorrow. Lex Luthor, Stephen, has got so much longevity. I'm really intrigued to see what they get down. I tried searching up to see if there's context for what Man of Tomorrow means. I couldn't get anything. I think there was an animated movie from back in the day or something like that. But I don't know the context of how it can function as a semi-Superman movie but not be a sequel when it's also the next instalment featuring David Cornsford. I don't know how he's going to get around that. I'm sure he'll be clever in the way he handles it, but it almost becomes, dare I fucking say it, a Dawn of Justice, where you've got Superman, but it's an ensemble.
John, I think the reason for this. No, I think Superman's going to be prominent, as James Gunn does say in that article. I think the reason for that is he is conscious of a big time gap of not having Superman around. And that was one of the problems with the old universe, was he just wasn't there, and then turns up, for the Justice League or Batman v Superman. Can't remember what came first, but there was too much of a gap, and the problem with the way they did those choices was that they didn't give Henry Cavill enough screen time. That's my concern. That's my only concern about Man of Tomorrow. But James Gunn saying he's going to be prominent. He's going to be a big part of this story. It could be just a sort of mini Justice League type of thing they're doing, but he's going to be part of it. It's not technically a direct sequel to Superman, but it is in a way, if you know what I mean.
Steve, see when you look at these images he released when he announced it, it's love-hate relationship here. And one, he's punching the shit out of Lex in this sort of suit, war suit. Then they're kind of seemingly together. And then they're standing and he's kind of leaning on Lex and he's got a screwdriver as if he's helping him out in some strange way. So it's going to be intriguing to see how they balance that. It could be love-hate. It could almost be like Guardians-esque bickering going on. Tonally, I want to see him doing something like that. I mean, we had comedic elements in Superman. I thought he got the balance pretty good. That's something he does well, James. I would like to see where he takes this. I'm so intrigued to see the evolution of this guy's vision for DC moving forward. And also, Man of Tomorrow, really pleased to see they're continuing on with it. They've not listened to the ballbaggery, as we like to say in Scotland, ballbaggery everyone else would like to see. or say bellends on the internet criticising it. Oh, he's talking about immigration, he's talking about aliens. Oh my God, he's politicising Superman. Superman's always been politicised, you fucking cretins. He's a very political super. They all are. Look at Spider-Man back in the day. He was literally pen to empower minority communities. That's the whole purpose of the fucking character. It's always politicised. Everything is political.
Stan Lee.
Everything.
He was the master of it, you know, in a good way. In a good way.
Yeah. So I'm glad to see that he's continuing on with it. He's already announced it's coming out. That sets in stone a clear vision for the character moving forward, and it's good for Superman. It's good for fans of Superman. He's going to maintain the momentum that obviously Henry Cavill's version had lost because they forgot he actually existed and decided not to give him another movie for a fucking decade. Great work there. Brilliant. We'll have two Wonder Woman movies. Brilliant. Get that character out there. Really interesting, that character. Phenomenal actress, Gal Gadot. Yeah. Really, really good. Really good actress. Brilliant. So much better than Henry Cavill. Let's get more of her.
No.
Honest to God. Fucking awful. Awful. So bad they had to bring Chris Pine back from the dead in the fucking film to guide her through the movie again. And Henry Cavill couldn't get a Superman movie. So thankfully, that's another thing he's learnt from. Don't listen to the half-wits and the executive at Warner Brothers. Do your own thing. Continue on building on the most important character outside of Batman and DC. Stephen, getting on to this sort of chapter 1 slate though. Clayface, you mentioned that Supergirl, they're continuing kinda the story of Superman because it's his cousin and we're kinda continuing that theme. Tonally, it'll be intriguing to see where they go with that. Will it be similar? Will it be hopeful? Will it be lighter in tone? I don't know because I'm not James or Peter. Speaking what I know them in first name terms. I do know that Millie Alcock though is a brilliant actress. Very, very good in House of Dragon. She wasn't the standout. Of course, it was your man whose name's eluded me, Matt Smith. Because everything Matt's in, he's the man in. So he was the daddy of House of Dragon, but she's very good. And again, I think it's an inspired casting choice. Never really spoke about Superman, Stephen, because we never done a review. But I think I've already gave David his flowers. But I was critical of Corin's fit, Stephen, and his physique. I thought he looked small. Having watched the film, he is not fucking small. Not up the way, not out the way. Perfect.
I think that was one of the first things people were doing, when he was cast, was the comparison. It's a natural thing, I suppose. They did it with Val Kilmer and Michael Keaton when Val Kilmer took the Batman role. The comparisons, it's just a natural thing. I get that. It doesn't always have to be tribalism, but in terms of David Corenswet, that was one of the things. Just talking about his height and his actual body mass as a whole. In comparison to Henry Cavill, and I was quite surprised because looking at him, I don't know what it was. I don't know if maybe it's just the way he was dressing that day I saw him, but it didn't look bulky. It didn't look. No. I mean, he's tall. He's a very tall chap as well. But it's once you see him and you see there was a wardrobe test as well, and it was massive. It was almost like Christian Bale in the first Batman film, Batman Begins, when he was like he piled the pounds on. Just an absolute bear, But no, I think in terms of Corenswet, I think we've covered. That's probably why we've not done a review, is because we've covered since the announcement of Superman from James Gunn. We've covered this on the news show for the last 3 years or something like that, John. So, and obviously, once the film was released, we've talked about the box office. We've talked about performances.
I need to check its box office. You know that? I've not checked its box office and where it actually finished that, because I presume it's finished now. Quite briefly.
Yeah.
Check that, because I'm intrigued. Box office mojo, come on, Clown Shoe. Let's see. $600 odd million worldwide. I don't know what its budget was. I don't know if that's good, bad. I mean, they're continuing on with a quasi-sequel, semi-sequel, so got to assume it's made some kind of money. $225 million. Usually you double it, don't you? Yeah. I thought it's probably just about broke even.
Yeah.
I think that's all right. I think that's
John,
fine.
yeah, I mean, the problem with the film is that, you know, there was people determined they weren't going to see the film,
Yeah,
you know, just because
it's not
they're
Henry.
so loyal, you know, to Henry Cavill, they're so loyal to Zack Snyder. So they weren't going to see it. It doesn't matter. I'll go and see something else. I'm not seeing that film. That's just the stubbornness of some people. So you've got that against you, first and foremost. And obviously, what comes with that as well is bad publicity. You know, it's because of the tribalism, and social media has a big part to play in that as well, and word of mouth because of social media. You know, and there was a time during the summer where I had to just go away from all these forums and groups on Facebook talking about Superman, because it was just Snyder bots that were coming in and just absolutely bombarding.
Yeah.
You know, so with that as well, you've got to put up with. But I think that's a not bad return for this first film.
Tell you what, hats off to India, by the way, because also the currency conversion rate, $6.9 million. I'm going to assume when you convert that to rupees, obviously it's different standards of living. That's not me being disparaging or whatever. I'm just meaning that obviously money goes longer in India. If you were to go over with an average salary from the United Kingdom, that you would be able to live probably a more lavish lifestyle than obviously if you were living in India and earning the average salary there. So to convert that, that's a lot of people went out and watched that film in India, so you've got to tip your hat to them. Britain, that's fucking crazy, $37 million. Good numbers for over here as well. But no, Stephen, look, glad to see he's continuing on with it. I think the casting bang on, and that's what's going to be so important with these kind of things. I see Batman's in there. I don't think we're going to get Batman in a Clayface film before The Brave and the Bold.
But John, in terms of Clayface, this is the one that I was talking to you just about before we came on live. This is the one that intrigues me the most because it is horror, and who's involved? Obviously, James Watkins is directing, who did Speak No Evil, and it's co-written by Mike Flanagan as well.
Who's so a phenomenal horror.
Yeah, you've got a great
filmmaker.
You've got a great team behind it already, you know, and the fact that James Gunn's decided to put this as the third film is a big statement as well. I don't think we've had a feature film, have we? A live action film with Clayface? Not that I know of. Maybe someone in the comment section can help us out. So for this to be the first live action of this character, I know there's obviously an animated version of Clayface, but yeah, I mean this is definitely live action. So according to this.
Yeah, I'm just looking at I was confused there because I seen Naomi Aki plays a rogue scientist who turns his body into clay. I presume they're doing a bit of gender swapping there. That'll get the knickers in a twist as well from the usual people who just can't bear to have a female playing the lead in a film of this ilk if it's a male that played it in the comic books. We remember obviously the Marvel one, what was it again? Where it was Silver Surfer. Banking on.
Yeah, I don't know, John.
Fantastic Four.
I'm reading that Tom Reese Harris is playing Clayface.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, because I've just completely fucking read it wrong then. It's literally just the writing in this article is fucking utter trash.
Yeah, it's not the best written description.
Oh, no, she turns the rogue scientist who is Tom Reese Harris.
Yeah, so
his body into clay. So she's
responsible for obviously his change. Yeah.
It's just
horrendous the way
English.
It's written. It's weird. It's weird the way it's written.
These people are journalists. You know, they actually went through university and whatnot, or college over in the United States, and presumably get a degree in English, and that's the standard of writing. He was well using fucking AI. Man of Tomorrow, obviously. That's hot in the news just now, AI. Oh, man.
Statements.
Oh, yeah. Statement FC. Oh, how we laughed, back in the day. Not laughing anymore, are we? Man of Tomorrow, we've kind of done that, Stephen.
Yeah.
It's also going to be this sort of, fucking dare I say it, mismatched buddy kind of thing with Lex Luthor and Superman, where they're teaming up. That's going to be really intriguing. Look, I'm all for it. I think those two are fucking gold together. Holt and Consfit. Anything that's got Nicholas Holt in it, I'm a happy man. I think the guy's phenomenal. He's really grown. I mean, it still blows my mind. He was the little kid in About a Boy, and he was the same age as me. Because I remember watching About a Boy and never for a minute did I think he was the same fucking age as me. Thought he was like 5-6 years younger. It's crazy. But yeah, we've done that. Stephen, this is the intriguing one. Because obviously we have got the Robert Pattinson, blank on his name, Matt Reeves, that's the one. I don't know why I had Todd Phillips in my head and I had Mike Flanagan in my head. Matt Reeves. He's been hiding under a fucking rock somewhere that long that I've forgotten his name.
Bad vibes. I've got bad vibes about this.
I don't think... well, Stephen, this isn't the Matt Reeves one. This is an entirely
different... I've got bad vibes about the Matt Reeves one.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, he's took way too long. Momentum's gone. Pattinson's a busy boy. He's not got time for that shit. Hanging about for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years to do a sequel. He is off making movies with everybody, man. This guy picks the best directors on earth to do. He's worked with... He ain't going to sit about waiting on Matt Reeves, getting over his writer's block, or his phobia, his J.J. Abrams-esque phobia of how to continue a story. Fucking shitebag Abrams. I used to like you, mate. Used to like you. Star Wars has ruined you for me. Or ruined my opinion of you. Irrevocably, it's done, mate. Shitebag. But no, Stephen, this is intriguing. If it is indeed going to be the case that Matt Reeves doesn't conjure up some kind of sequel, then this is going to be your Batman, one and only, moving forward. But more importantly, we have got Robin in there.
Damon Wayne, yeah.
But he's a little fucking arsehole, if I remember correctly. It's a really intriguing... Oh, Stephen here. Stephen's gone. So I'll just continue talking until we potentially get Stephen back. We might not get him back, but then again we might. This is one I'm really intrigued by, because obviously it's Andy Muschietti, who's a phenomenal director in his own right. And it's Batman. And Batman, aside from Superman, is one of my favourite superheroes, period. Sort of transcending any comic. Yeah, he's back. I'll bring him up. I'll do my best to get him up.
Don't know what happened there, man.
That's a weird phrasing. I'll do my best to get him up. I'll do my best to expand the image.
He's out and about.
He's out and about. But no, Steve, I was just saying, look, The Flash is Andy Muschietti. He's a really good director. I actually enjoyed I've not seen The Flash in its entirety, but little snippets I've seen on the old YouTube. I've enjoyed it. I know you've watched it, and you actually didn't mind The Flash.
Some of the visuals were very dodgy, John, but that didn't bother me too much.
You remember when they says that was the greatest superhero movie ever made? That's that.
One of the bits I liked.
It's going for an Oscar. That's what they said at the time. You're overcompensating for Ezra getting off a cliff. Calm it down. But I'm intrigued by this, Steve, and again, the casting's so important, though, because Batman is Batman. It is what it is, but Robin, when you tack Robin in, it's super important you don't get another Chris...
O'Donnell.
You don't get another Chris O'Donnell in, because fuck me, that guy, he was awful. And to be fair, so was George Clooney. He was awful as well. And George isn't awful, but he was awful in that film. So I'm always incredibly concerned when Robin gets introduced to a Batman story. Because it's just, to me, it's like Grogu in The Mandalorian. It's baggage, we don't need it. Batman is more than capable of holding a film on his own. You start introducing this little fucker. But, I mean, obviously it is the story. I remember reading about it when it was announced, that they're going down a different route with Robin. It's obviously a little son of a bitch to Deadline, assassin murderer who Batman takes on, who's Batman's actual son that he doesn't know exists for the first 8 to 10 years of his life. So you've kind of got this daddy issues, broken relationship between the son and the father. It's a kind of dark, twisted little Saltburn Robin, and you've got that element getting carried over into a Batman movie. So again, he's just doing something interesting, Stephen, with these stories. He's giving us Batman stories, he's giving us these other kind of stories that you've not really seen DC dabble with in a cinematic sense. We've only ever really seen Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, big sort
of versions. It does say in that article that the script is finished reportedly. So it shows you how quick. You mentioned it earlier about how quick James Gunn moves, and when you look that Supergirl's coming out next year, and so is the third film, Clay. What's it,
Face.
Clayface? I was going to say Clayman. They must be in production. They must be full in production at this minute in time. And this is why I admire James Gunn, because he doesn't hang about. He's seen the errors of the way of the old guard, and he's went, I'm not doing that. I'm going to make sure we don't repeat those steps. So, and the fact that this script is finished kind of hints to me that perhaps maybe everything's going quiet with the Robert Pattinson version. It's not happening, which is a shame, John, because it's so much potential. And I loved the first film. I loved that film. And also the Penguin series as well.
Colin Farrell, yeah.
Did so well. With Colin Farrell, and just that world building,
See, the thing with
So
the
if I'm
Batman, though,
not
Stephen, the Batman
What's
works
that?
as a standalone movie. That's the thing with it. You
Yeah.
can leave it at one and it just works on its own. It's such a brilliant movie, 3 distinct acts, and the evolution that Bruce goes on in that movie is quite unique. So, they can cut it there and it works as a singular story. It's not where you've left it on a cliffhanger and it requires a sequel and you never get the sequel and it feels unfinished. You went from this sort of broken, what would you call it? Anarchistic, is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Kind of character who's creating all this violence through people twisting his words, and then he almost becomes reborn in the water.
Yeah.
And comes back as the Batman we know and love. Also, we don't get to see that, but we've seen that before. We've seen that. Well, I presume we don't get to see it. I'm presuming Matt's never going to get over these issues he's got. Maybe it was true about the stuff behind the scenes. You remember that? He didn't have a good time. He didn't want to work with him again. That was the rumours. I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe there's some truth in that. I don't know.
We've seen it with Star Wars, though. With Luke Skywalker getting fucking hands chopped off and just getting locked up with Jabba and then having to use the sail barge and all the antics to redeem himself for looking like a bit of a fool after making half the Jabba's palace look like a bunch of fucking fools. And then when we get to the point where we finally get to see him being a Jedi Knight, if you'd like, if not a master, we don't get to see it. Cuts to black, and that's it. So we've kind of done that before. So it is what it is. This is so important, though, Stephen, in terms of, again, the future of this universe and what they're doing. Obviously, the casting's got to be bang on, because this guy's going to these two are inevitably going to be linking up with Cornsvet and Holt or whatnot in some big ensemble movie. That's the way it's going to build. So you have to make sure this is the other big one that has to kind of hit the ground running. So I'm intrigued to see who the cast. Intrigued to see who the cast is. Damian Wayne, Little Robin, the little son of a bitch. And I'm sure he'll bring all the usual stuff that makes a James Gunn movie, almost like Taika Waititi, where you've got laughs 1 minute, sort of emotional gut punches the next, and it's just all really well balanced. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing, Stephen. This looks like something out of a Monster of the Week episode of X-Files. I could picture David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson running around in some little small town in the Midwest of the United States of America, trying to pin down just what the fuck this thing is. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
John, it's intriguing to.
Fox Mulder.
I'm looking at the whole slate just now, and the some of the release dates that have been penciled in at the moment. It's astonishing to think, the amount of films that we're going to be getting over the next couple of years from DC. They really are going full throttle with it.
Yeah.
And this one again, Swamp Thing. Again, never seen a live action of this, so I'm not really sure how this is going to play. Definitely a simple, clean gothic horror. So
He's
again,
down that horror route.
Yeah. James Mangold involved in this. Yeah. So
he's attracting a real high caliber of directing talent to obviously work on the movies. And that's usually a positive thing, because they've got a sort of sense of the script and whether it's going to be worth their while. These are guys that can pick any movie on earth to direct. They don't
it does say
require work.
it does say they've put this one to the back burner, similar to The Brave and the Bold at the moment. They are talking about it, but it's kind of just in passing. They talk about it occasionally. That's what the quote says. So, I mean, it's good that they're having these discussions, John. I know they're obviously prioritising other films over certain ones at the moment, but the fact that they're talking to directors, talking about what could be in terms of storyline. So everything points to being so proactive in terms of the studio, which is great.
Yeah, I don't know if your mics went on my end or whether you're actually done speaking, Stephen. I can never tell.
I was done speaking.
You're done speaking, Stephen. This guy here looks like Dark Helmet to Darth Vader, but to Batman, it looks like some sort of caricature version of Batman, almost like the Dark Knight when that little fat guy gets kidnapped by the Joker, kidding on his Batman. That's what that is. That's a little fat guy wanna be Batman. Then we've got this towering fucking Dolph Lundgren. Yes. I was about to say, talk to me. That's fucking Stir of Echoes.
Look at me.
I can imagine Heath saying that. That's the crazy thing about it. Stephen, I don't know much about these things, but this is the great thing. I didn't know much about some of the other characters in the MCU before they started coming out. And you can see the blueprint that he's trying to put down here. He's trying to do something similar to the MCU where he's taking lesser known characters because you're needing them. You can't just rely on the big hitters. You can't rely on Spider-Man over in the MCU, Hulk, Thor. You need...
This is why James Gunn was brought in, because we saw what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy. John, you picked me up to go and see that film. I always remember it so well. And I said to you in the car, because you just got the tickets, and I went, yeah, fine, I'll go along. And I sat in the car and I went, what's this about?
I thought we
no clue what this is about.
Steve, that was one of the best fucking moments I've ever had in a theatre. Just phenomenal. The way he balanced the music and the humour. That infamous intro with obviously Star-Lord dancing and what was it? Come and get your love. It's just like, this is my movie. Yeah, I just loved every minute of it. I loved the way he built those characters. That's why I've got so much faith for this. I know a lot of people hate on James.
Yeah.
But I think he's a really unique filmmaker, producer, writer. And he'll have a long vision in mind for these characters. I mean, I'm not saying he's got the entire thing fucking mapped out in his mind's eye. But I think you'll have some long-ish, mid to long-term vision of how this is going to play out. And we've already seen what he did with Guardians. It was really gut-wrenching at the end of Guardians 3. Yeah. So we know this guy's got previous, unlike other directors, some of his peers, JJ, where he starts something and he finishes it. It's a novel idea, isn't it? Not just starting something and then running off and doing something else. Fucking little shite bag. Wonder Woman, Steve. I'm fucking hating on J.J. Abrams tonight, aren't I? Terrible. Wonder Woman, Steve. I'm fucking worried about this. Gal Gadot can't come back.
No.
I know she's heavily pushing. Like that actress a couple of years ago tried to push to get the Academy Award, almost self-funded, her way into the nominations. Gal's pushing like mad to get this trilogy done. We can't have another Gal Gadot Wonder Woman movie.
That's like a David Brent thing to do, innit?
Yeah. Yeah, but we can't have her back, Stephen. She cannot be back as Wonder Woman. No harm to her. Good looking lass. I get it. But she's not a serious actor.
No. Again, very much like Margot Robbie. By the time this film is even in production, it's going to be years away, I think. Just looking at the slate, what has been announced and what is the release dates of the other films, you're talking maybe a good 5 years before they even think about this film. So I don't think she'll be in the running at that point.
How old is she now?
Oh, she's young. She's young. She's younger than me, but I just don't see it. I think by that point, the appetite from the actress as well probably be away.
Yeah, she's 40. Yeah.
40, yeah.
So if you're saying 5 years from now, 45-year-old Wonder Woman, no harm. But
not possible. It's not impossible, John. But I can't see it. I think the appetite from Gal Gadot as well will be away by that point. maybe. Gail.
She's got much other offers coming in. So I don't know about that. But look, listen, I did enjoy the first Wonder Woman
Snow White
movie, to be
sequel.
fair. I did. What was that?
Snow White the sequel.
Fuck God. To be fair, she was actually one of the better things in that. That wouldn't be fucking hard. The TV show, Stephen, obviously we've heard that. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's. I don't know if this is going to be continuing moving forward, but I think the initial sort of breakdown of this slate and just what his vision was, him and Peter Safran. I'm talking about James Gunn here, if you don't know. It says that there was going to be a bleed over of talent between the animated stuff, TV shows and films. So you would have Corin's Fate come in, you'd have Millie Alcott come in, whoever's going to play Batman. And then if we were doing animated kind of stuff and required those characters, they would do the voice work. So there's going to be continuity. I don't know why that comes into Creature Commandos, which clearly does not feature Batman, Superman or Supergirl. Well, that looks, Steve, I tell you what, see if that's not his fucking...
already out though.
Yeah, is it out? Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, that's
yeah. It's out. It's fucking long out. I've not even seen it. Stephen, if he's not cast his fucking brother to voice act that, just in the off chance that
he has.
Same brother.
Double duty is Weasel and GI Robot.
Oh, it's fucking, is that Weasel? Is that Weasel?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That is fucking fantastic. You talk about cinematic experiences. Weasel, man. Going to the theatres to watch that film when Weasel fucking basically drowns in the first 5 minutes. Oh, fucking. But of course he comes back. Oh, brilliant. Honestly. Brilliant. I wonder what he's got in his brother that he gets away with doing that all the time to him. Fabulous, man. Alan Tudyk. I may have to fucking watch this. I've not seen this.
Yeah.
Tudyk's phenomenal.
What they've done, John, is they've got people, Frank Grillo as well as Rick Flag Sr. What they've got is they've got a calibre of voice actor that can obviously cross over well into live action as well. Alan Tudyk is a fine example of that. A fine voice actor, but also a fine live action performer as well.
Yeah. So fine that he stood up.
You kind of look at like Andy Serkis in that mould as well. You know, people like that. So
that's the one guy that I feel sorry for when it comes to the Batman, Andy Serkis, not getting to see out his vision for Alfred.
Yeah.
What did I call him back in the day? Alfred Pennywise instead of Pennyworth. I think you'd have done a good Pennywise, to be fair. Andy's a chameleon actor. Also, Peacemaker Season 2, I think we reacted to one of the trailers, Stephen. It does look funny as hell. I'll have to go back and watch Season 1 and catch up with us because I do enjoy John. He's a brilliant guy, personality. Just watch the Jolly channel and see him eating an American and a British breakfast and tell me this guy hasn't got charisma. This guy has got so much charisma that literally nobody else can stand next to him and even exist. It's all about this guy. So, really enjoyed the character and the Suicide Squad. I'm going to have to watch that because it's clear that he's going to have some big role moving forward in this universe. Lanterns, that's another big one, Stephen. Also, it's going to be the sort of lantern, what is it, Corps? Is that what they call it? Corpse?
Corpse, yeah.
Corpse. Where it is, it's sort of, I mean, again, you look at the John Stewart, I mean, again, they've cast really fucking well.
Yeah.
So, I like what he's doing, man. I'm not going to sit here and do this to fucking death. I mean, need, like, fuck's sake, no. No more Chris Pine. No more. I love Chris, but no. Come on. Fucking Steve. No more Steve. But I like what he's doing. He's got it all mapped out. TV shows, films. He's got a clear vision in mind. He's casting really well. He started off well with Superman. This could be a real golden era for DC, like I says, as we stop on this guy that is just, I don't even know what, manifesting goldness. His fucking teeth are practically shimmering gold.
I'm just trying to think who they'd cast in that role.
Well, I mean, your man from, I'm blanking on his name, your man that is basically this generation's Sam Worthington, but better. He was in Top Gun Maverick, he was in Twisters, he's in another film. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah, I can't
He's got
remember
that fucking smile. God, what's he called again? I'd have to search. You know what? I'll search it up. Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick. Where is he? Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
look at
always, I've said this to you before, John, he always reminds me of your man that was in The Dark Knight Rises, the Irish actor, Aidan Gillen.
Yep.
I don't know, I think he just looks so much like him.
Stephen, it puts me in mind of David Duchovny as well. He's such a good actor as well, honestly. He's so watchable. He makes everything better. Again, big presence. There's some people, they do get overcast. Undoubtedly, Tom Hardy was one maybe 10 years ago. But you don't mind it when it's guys like this. Sam Lovington, it just felt egregious because no harm to Sam, he's not that great an actor. So he was popping up in fucking everything. Yeah. It's like, guy's not earned it right. So Glenn has earned it right. Glenn has earned it right. I mean, it'd be great to see a guy that calibre coming in again. And just based off the talent that he's attracting in terms of directors and actors.
Is he not in The Running Man? The new...
That's the one, yep. And he looks fucking brilliant in it again.
Yeah.
That looks really good. That's your man, isn't it? Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That's coming out in a couple of months. Defo, looking forward to that. Yep. I mean, that cast is off the chain. Amelia Jones, Lee Pace in there. Michael Cera. Lee Pace is fucking brilliant. What's he been in again? He was in Guardians. He played the villain, didn't he? I forget the name of that villain. He was really good. Lee Pace is another guy. He looks like fucking Adrian Brody. Again, I'm getting off piste here. But tell me that ain't Adrian Brody. That shit, you can't even fucking see it.
I mean, Lee Pace was in... he was in the Hobbit films, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, yep. Did he play... Who did he play again? Did he play Thorin Oakenshield?
No, he played the elf.
So he did. He played Legolas's father.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, very good.
Yeah, great actor.
He's fucking massive. My God, he's 196. Yeah. He's so tall. That's wild. Unbelievably tall. But no, Stephen, look, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes with this universe moving forward. I think he's hit the ball out the park initially with Superman, and glad to see he's continuing on with those two great actors with some kind of strange sequel that ain't a sequel. And I'm really intrigued to see where he goes moving forward. I ain't got much more to add though, Stephen. I mean, we're over an hour in here. It's extraordinary, really. It's because I'm waffling on about fucking time slowing down. And that soap, I always say it's carbolic. Is it carbolic? Carbolic soap, aging people. Again, before I go, this is the final thing I'm going to do. This is the final fucking tangent I'm going to go on. Sean Connery, James Bond. Sean Connery, what age was he? So he was born in 1930, he'd have been my age in 1966. Fucking hell. It's ridiculous. This fucking guy. What the fuck happened to that guy? He must have had a tough paper round, man. And you can see that as a wig, by the way. All day long. That's a wig. Outrageous. Not a line in my face, by the way. There was a point 5 years ago where I was using fine line cream thinking I was getting old. Clown shoe. But what I digress, what is your thoughts on Man of Tomorrow? Do you think it's a sequel? It doesn't really fucking matter what you think. James Gunn doesn't, and he's the guy that's making the film. Share your thoughts on Gunn, his vision for the DCU, this Man of Tomorrow stuff with obviously Nicholas Hoult coming back as Lex Luthor, David Cornsford coming back as Superman. Anything we've touched upon, time slowing down and making us look younger. Anything at all you want to speak about, put it down below in the comments section. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to get notifications on YouTube, follow button, notification button over on Twitch to see us live over there as well. And all that's left to be said really is thank you for watching us, and bye-bye.